Good morning. Hello. Let's take just a couple of stretches up. I've got a band handy. We're going to go up with your inhale and lower and up and lower and up and lower. And then let's take this down and just draw the right shoulder down and then the left shoulder down. Hi, Michelle. Right. Hey, Rick. And down. So this is where you get to see how you're feeling. And then one more right and one more left. And now face me. We're going to go forward and back, sort of just like a cat and a cow. Exhale and inhale. Now we're also going to take this in a, kind of like you're putting the moves together in a circle. So just circle the ribs around. It's like if you ever made pudding or you take a spatula on the inside of a mixing bowl and you get off all the pudding on the inside, or the cake batter, go the other way. So you're just taking the ribs in a big circle. Inhale. And then we're going to roll it all the way up. Take the fingers in an interlaced fashion, lift up and back, kind of like you just woke up in the morning. Inhale, and then exhale. We're going to take the band overhead and take the toes a little bit more towards the side. I'm going to start off slowly because we're doing two moves at once, and I want your body to have a chance to get used to it. The heel is heavier than the toes, so right now I could even lift my toes and a piece of paper would come underneath them. That's how much weight's more on my heel. That's going to help my glutes fire more than my knees. The hands are pulling the band down towards the chest. It's an exhale and an inhale. It's an exhale and an inhale. Notice how your neck is free and clear and easy. And exhale. Good. And you're going to feel your wrist. It's easy to get them all contorted, so you want to just scan them if you need to. Feel them. Keep them pretty straight. 5. Your knee tracks with your second toe. 4. 3. 2. And 1. And come back up. Very good. Now we're going to take the band behind. So you see how I've got it behind. Good. Now, of course, let's do two moves. I'm going to start slowly. Go up with your heels. At the same time, you're pushing your arms out with your exhale. Knees are soft. Out and in. Out and in. Exhale. Out and in. And exhale. And in. 9 and in. 10. 11. So you're slowly going up with the heels, slowly lowering the heels, and imagine you have a tennis ball between your ankles so that your ankles don't stickle out. Let's take 5 more. Whoops. And 16. You're pressing your arms. Your wrists are pretty flat here. Let's take 3 more. You're trying to lengthen your elbows. I like it. Now I'm going to take this as a way to stretch. So take your hands up and behind. Now you've got this shoulder chest stretch. Tuck your knuckles a little forward and you're going to feel how that opens up the shoulders and the chest. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then lower that down. You're going to step in the band in the middle. On the band in the middle. Both heels will probably be good, but if it's too hard, just take one heel. Bend both elbows. You got it. And exhale. So it depends if you have a band versus a elastic tubing, how your hands might feel easier. Your wrist might feel easier in a certain position. And exhale. If you have the elastic tubing, let your handles roll with your wrist. A lot of times on the band, it feels better to do a hammer curl. Whichever one you have, your knees are soft. Your shoulders are open. You're never letting the shoulders poke forward. You have a little bit more ab tone right here below the ribs. I like to slow it down on the way down to make sure that gravity's not winning. We're working the negative, working that eccentric contraction. Exhale, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, good, Rick, and 20, nice Betty, lower that down, good, and then we're going to take this as a dynamic stretch. Take your arms wide, let it go behind you, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. All right, this is good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Grab a sip if you want. We're going to do another band exercise. Overhead press. I'm going to actually flip this back a little so you can see. This is going to be overhead press. The one hand comes behind. The one hand goes low. It's really important that the hand that's low, you're not accidentally leaning. So your ribs are roughly over the pelvis. They're equidistant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, try 5 more, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then take this other side, hand low, press up with your exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Good. Exhaling. Ribs are helping you stay connected down. 5 more. Very good. Let that go. Perfect. And we're going to take the band heels in the middle. 2 heels for most of us, I think. If it's too hard, just go back to 1. And kind of pull. Now another option is if it's too easy, you just walk your feet out a little bit wider. You see that? Exhale. Good. 3. I like how you're checking your wrist, Miss Michelle. You're just making sure they feel comfy. You're not forcing them anywhere. Your goal is to feel the shoulders and the bicep and some ease in the joints. You're just holding on enough that you have a good grip, but you're not white knuckling it. 8. You're tall. 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Perfect. We're going to get rid of one handle. You're going to step out. If you want to sip, grab a sip. We're going to do a lateral raise. Your hand is in the band or the tube. Your heel is on the side. I'll move over so I'm more centered. All right, out. Kind of like a T. You do have a lot of softness in that elbow. And if you scan your wrist, it's flat. You're not letting it get extended or flexed especially. 5 in one direction. Knees are soft. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How about 5 more? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Other side. Heel, arm. 1, 2, 3. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I like how your neck is easy. 11, 12, 13, 14. I like it, guys. Great. Take that into a stretch. Now the arms are going to go behind you. Hold 5, 4. Big heart opening. There you go. And double check that your wrists are good. They shouldn't be back here. So even if you have to tuck the knuckles in. 3. Now this is dynamic, so you may have to give yourself a little bit more slack. For example, a longer distance between the hands. But if you pull the arms back, you see the band has some give. You can go wide. Awesome. Feel the scapula glide. Neck is soft. And find one more place that feels amazing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower that down. Nice job. And then let the band down. Let's grab, anywhere between 3 and 6 pound weights for lateral raises. 2 in each hand, 1 weight in each hand. Now, open up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Nice. Lower that down. Good job. Interlace fingers. We're going to stretch out those shoulders. So that's really good. Shoulders are looking really strong. Elbows are soft and your knees are soft. Your head is ear in line with the shoulder as opposed to poking forward. I think that's actually pretty easy to do by accident. So lift up. Feel that amazing shoulder chest stretch. This is a stretch you can do anytime during your day. And then what we'll do is, it's a qigong move. You're going to sway your arms and let them be so easy that they actually thump you. You'll feel this thump. So you notice you can get more momentum. Now we're gonna do a few more like that, and then we're gonna add a variation where you bend the elbows. So it's okay, you can kind of bend. And you can close your hands just a little so you get this thump. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Now we're gonna add an overhead press. So it's gonna look like this. It's gonna look like this. So anywhere from 3 to 6 would probably be good. And if you need to sit down, that's one way you could modify. And I want you to have a knee soft. Anytime you lift your arms overhead or you reach for something in a closet, it is so easy to get your low back in excessive curve. So I want you to scan, turn. You see I'm not getting lordotic. I'm not getting more curved. So for me, that means I have a little tone on my pubic bone pulling up so that I don't get lordotic. I don't do that by death gripping the glutes, tucking the pelvis under that way. I just use a little tone in my abs. The ribs also pull down a little bit because you can tell they're going to want to go forward, right? The lats, if they're a little bit tight right there. Another trick is keep the hands, they're not touching at the top. They're, for me, just a little wider than shoulders. Elbows long. Head stays up. You can feel how it wants to pull forward if you're tight, but we're going to keep the ear in line with the shoulder. All right, exhale. We didn't do the breath, did we? And lower. So you're breathing. Exhale. Now see if you can do about 3 more here. If you're fatigued, finish, but otherwise do 3. Exhale. 2. 1. Lower. Take that down. Very good. Grab a sip if you'd like. We're going to stay hydrated today. It's at least 85 where I am, so we're going to stay some hydration. So 5, 4, 3 is shaking out. 2, inhale, and exhale. Now we're going to take an overhead press. Let me show you what it's going to look like. With our hands on triceps, it's going to look like that. Now one option is to take the same weight you had, maybe 3 to 6 pounds. Let's say you didn't have that, or you want to, you can take like a weight between 6 and 10. But I'm going to take the between 3 and 6 pound weights and put them behind. We just went over the cues that are applicable for this overhead press. When your arms go long, you're making sure your head doesn't poke forward. Your knees are soft. Your ribs are pulling down with your abs. 5, 6. Good. If you need more flexibility room, you can open up your arms a little bit. That's just fine. 6, 7. Your pubic bone pulls up a little bit so that your low back doesn't get too inwardly curved. Neck is soft, and I like to just move it every now and then to make sure I'm not accidentally holding tension that I'm unaware of. Sometimes tension can creep up and you think your baseline is relaxed and it wasn't. So you just check. 14 and 15. Now up to 5 more. This is getting harder, so if you need to, come out. 17, 18, 19, 20. Let that down. Let that down all the way into another place. Take a sip if you'd like. We'll take a half moon stretch. Go over. If you want to add on the foot cross, now you can rotate too. 5, 4, 3, 2, and up. Other side. I'll start with just the arm, possibly the foot. 5, 4, 3, 2. Feels so good right here. Open up the lats and exhale. 1. Now we are going to do rear delt, which is this muscle here, it's going to look like this. The knees will be bent and you'll go like that. So roughly 3, maybe up all the way up to 8, but 2 to 8, somewhere 3 to 8, 3 to 6. Bend the knees. And I'll show you different views. So I'll start front view. It's kind of like that T, but you see, because, now this is probably the most important part. See how the back is? I'm not rounded. I'm lifting my sit bones a little. And I'm lifting my sternum a little so that I have a, quote, flat back. But I'm not necessarily parallel to the floor. Heels are heavy. Your gaze may be down, but maybe like 4 feet in front of your toes. So there's no tension. So I'm going to turn. Slow it down as you descend. So you'll exhale, slow it down. It's so easy for gravity to take over. Rear flies are good for the deltoids on the back side of the arm, the rear deltoid, and that's going to be so good for posture. They don't get much attention. 5, in daily life. 4, we tend to really work the posterior chain. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to stand up, take a circle, well, 5, with your weights, just holding on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you can come right into this elbow bending, palms holding. Good. We're going for 20. Yeah, or you can take a heavier weight. You got it, Rick. Nice. So it'll handle a heavier weight. I was going to remedy with the 20 reps. Your wrist, if you double check them, they're pretty straight here. You notice how you're slowly lowering them and not letting gravity win again. 8. Shoulders are open. So your hands come towards your shoulders as opposed to your shoulders going to your hands. Let's take 10 more. You could also make this hammer curl if you need, or to mix it up for the brachioradialis. Check your back. Your abs are a little bit more toned right here than your back. Exhaling, inhaling. Exhaling, inhaling. 3, 2, 1. Lower that down. Take a little breather. And we'll take hands behind like this for a bit. Open up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now leave one hand back. Put one hand. Okay. Hold. Oh, that looks great. Look at this posture. And what I like is no one's leaning over here. The ribs are over the pelvis evenly. Inhale. Exhale. Other side. Ah. Okay, lifting through the jaw. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale, and exhale. 1. Now I'm going to move my whole camera unit just so it's a little less angled down. If you would like to, you can. We're going to do, Michelle, I always think of you with these. We're going to do some flies. Probably, and take a sip, probably anywhere between 3 and 10. Your feet are going to be on the floor. You can make sure your roller's handy. I've got mine within arm's reach. And basically, you're going to lie on your back with your hands holding on to the weights. They are basically touching in the middle, but it's almost like there's a tree in front of you. Make sure that your hands don't touch the floor here. The feet on the floor is going to help you keep your ribs down a bit. Yes. Open. Close. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Open. Close. Open. Close. Inhale. 5. 4. 3. Now, if you're doing okay, do 5 more. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale, open. 3. If you needed to rest, that was fine. 2. And 1. We're going to lower that down. You can take a full body stretch. Arms overhead. Shift through your legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and you can take a little bit of a heavier weight if you want to do a chest press. We're going to do 20 of these. So you're going to take the elbows kind of like a field goal post. You can think about 90-degree angles, and then they straighten. You bend. Exhale, push. Now your feet are still probably on the floor. Yeah. Another trick, if your low back was feeling really arched, is to put your feet on top of the roller, and that helps press the back down a little bit more without slamming it down. Inhale, exhale. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let go of that. Take a full body stretch. Woo! Arms long, legs long. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to turn over seated. Grab a sip if you'd like, seated with your band or bands. You put your heels out. And the reason I say band is because you can use 2 bands for this one. This one's, if you want, this one's pretty strong area. Or you can choke up on the band here, sit up, bend your elbows. You see how that's a row. It looks great. So you're practicing your posture. Your ear is in line with your shoulder, is in line with your middle rib, is in line with your hips. Exhale, pull. Okay. You'll feel your biceps as well. You'll feel your rear shoulders as well. Exhale. We'll take 5. I like how you're keeping your shoulders open. 4. You're controlling it on the return. 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to uncross these straps for a bit. So they're parallel. Lean back, and if you would like, bend your knees a little bit. That way you have some flexion in your spine, which is what the abs do. So you've got some flexion, and you bend your elbows. Now, if you want it harder, lift up your humerus, that part of your arm, the upper arm. Exhale. 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 All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit up, cross those straps. Now elbows are in. This is so good for the shoulders. I'm going to turn so you can see me. Your elbows are in. Your wrists, if you scan them, they're pretty straight here. Exhale, chest open. And I'm going to slow it down here so you open. It's kind of like you're dealing cards. but you've got a wild card underneath your arm you don't want to let go of, so hold on to the ribs. Exhale. Exhale. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, just a little shake out. We are going to add on a rear fly. Lift up your elbows and open. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Neck is soft. Rear shoulders, always, we're just working that posterior chain. This needs the most help from all our tasks being so forward. Bodies get rounded forward without intervention, so here we are doing our strengthening. Now I do want to take a little breather. You can take a sip and just take a stretch. Feet can be together. And if you want to use your elbows on your calves, you can, or your thighs. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, gently come back up. Take those feet out along again. Now this is going to be a posterior oblique chain. So it looks like you make an X. Both arms are pulling back. It won't feel like it's going into a huge motion, but yes, exhale. So both arms are pulling back and they're roughly diagonal from each other, oblique angle from each other. Neck is soft though. Yeah, good, Michelle. Why does coffee make me sneeze? I don't know. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you're going to lean back, roll up with a little bit of knee flexion. You can keep the abs, or excuse me, the spine flexed. You can pull up. Now let's say it's too easy, you can always grab more. Upright row. Elbows are wide, good. And you might be able to go down a little bit more, Betty. Just see. Yeah, just see. Does that feel okay? You're not getting that clicking or anything. Okay, good. If you stay still or stable, you're less likely to get it, right? Yeah. Yep. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now come back up. Let's take the legs wide. So you see how we sneak in some stretches, and I like it when you guys send me texts or emails and I know what you're really liking. So I love the fact that you like the integrated stretching. Let your exhale relax your neck and shoulders. Feel the inner thighs. If you need to make it wider, you can. And just enjoy. Now when you're ready, gently come back up. And we're gonna have our roller handy. So the roller is gonna be a way to add on to posture, back. Again, we're working the posterior chain, hamstrings, glutes, back, and take a sip if you need. Belly down. The arms are gonna be on this roller wide. You're gonna take your inhale to lift. Inhale and lift. Good, Michelle, that's it. And I like to just double check, see how the first ones feel, and then make adjustments then. And up. Like it. Press down as you feel your spine lift up. Pull your belly up. I like to pull the belly up when I'm down. That way I sort of start with the correct form and you keep that tone as you come up. Now your glutes, you're active, but they're not tense. Your hamstrings are active, but you're not cramping the toes. The toes are not going to cramp. So there's a difference between contraction and tension. Now hold the next one up. 10, 9, 8, 7. That looks great. 6, 5. Yeah, good. 4. I like how the breath lifts you. 3, 2. Lower. Now, if you can add on, we're going to take an arm back to a hamstring. So when you're ready, inhale up. One arm goes back, and then the other, and then the other. Stay pressing down with one arm. Both arms down and lift up. 5, 4, 3, 2, lower. And you can take a child's pose here. That was really good. Child's pose. Low back stretches. So good. And we're going to add another stretch for your back. Take your hands underneath your knees and roll your pelvis around. You're going to make this big circle. So you can imagine you are a poodle, and you've got this poodle tail that you're drawing a circle with on the wall behind you. Go the other way. Poodle tail, poodle tail, poodle tail. Nice. All right. Now we're going to add on the abs. The roller's going to go to the back side. You can take a sip if you want. And we'll do forearm plank. Elbows down. Okay. Now you're going to turn the toes towards each other. And you're going to bend the knees underneath you. And then you're going to straighten. Now adjust if you need. Toes towards each other. Make sure that your shins are getting rolled out instead of the bone. Your shin muscles instead of the bones. Roll under and under, under, 4. And what I'm doing today is a controlled, slower speed. That's going to feel different. Challenging the muscles by changing the speed of contraction. Confusing them, pull the knees under and rest for a moment. So I've got a child's pose with the shins on top of the foam roller, like that. Yeah, that was good. And then you kind of decompress that lower spine a bit more. This time we're going to take the knees corner to corner and in between do planks. So it's kind of like you're doing moguls or you're an inchworm to the corner. So take your legs long, bend your knees and head towards your left elbow Now straighten your legs in plank, bend your knees and head towards the right elbow. Straighten your legs into plank, bend your knees, and every now and then you have to adjust. One way to adjust is to walk your arms lower towards the foam roller. Exhale and exhale. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now take a breather. You can do a child's pose with booty in the air and the head down low. That's low back lengthening. The next one's going to be a pike where you lift your hips. You're going to lift your hips up kind of like you're an upside down V. If you need to adjust your mat, go for it. Your forearms are down. Your legs are long. Now we're going to go up in the air. 1, 2, good. Knees are long. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! It's coffee time. Have a sip. Have a sip of coffee. All right. That was really good. The last one we're going to do is pikes corner to corner. So your legs are going to stay long in the knees, but you're going to lift your hips towards the corner. So when you're ready, inhale, exhale, lift your hips up, but try to keep the knees long, and then lower it back to plank. Lift your hips up to one corner, come back down, and lift, and lift, and lift, and lift. All right, 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Now, for an amazing lat stretch, take your elbow and you can fold it so you have this pillow with your hand. Roll out your shoulder or your lat, which is muscle, the biggest muscle in the back, at twist right here at the armpit. We're not rolling out the ribs, you're rolling out muscle. You could scan if you roll forward or back, feel what is tight. If your triceps tight, you can roll that out. Shoulder's a good one. Lats especially good because when it's tight, it makes our arms turn inward. And posture. So this is a great one for posture. If you've been working forward or your sport is forward, 10, or sitting at a desk or driving, 9, it can contribute to low back pain and shoulder pain when it's tight. So 5 more, 4 more, 3. You see I'm slowing down because I found a spot. If you find a spot, you can either sit on it and let it release or continue to roll it out. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale. Now on your exhale, it's amazing. Let's go to the other side. The roller's over here. You're gonna put your armpit underneath. All right, here we go. Nice. Okay. Back. Back. Now you can scan, does the shoulder have any tension? We can get that lateral border of the scapula. Feel that shoulder. Feel that lat. Keep the breath. If you feel like, oh, I'm accidentally holding my breath, exhale, but that's probably evidence that there's a super tight spot, which you can sit on for about 90 seconds and change that structure of that trigger point. Or if you're feeling like there's a pervasive tightness, like me, just kind of roll over it. Also helping that fascia get freer, less sticky, less adhesive. Keep breathing. Can you tell the difference between your dominant arm and your non-dominant arm? Breathe. This is going to be good for the back, shoulder health, posture, even the low back, because the lat attaches down here, the ilium sacrum. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now this is a really fun one. If you get on your roller, your upper back, you lift. Go back and forth. Now, experiment. If you try this back bending, your hand is still holding your head. You feel that? Now you could try it with flexion. Just, if that's not for you, then don't. If you flex like a little bit of a curl and then deviate right, you can get those muscles that attach on the medial border of the scapula, the rhomboids. And then up high on that superior medial border is that levator scapula. Just try the right side then, just see. Now, you can try the left side. Oops. And you're also getting the muscles on the scapula probably. You feel that infraspinatus a little. Feel the muscles on the scapula. You probably feel the rhomboids a little bit more. They're a little easier to get. And just see, what do you feel? Where do you need to work? Flexion or extension? Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! That upper body's going to feel amazing. Can you roll out your IT? Take your side plank and then take one foot on the floor and lift up the other leg. Somewhere between the greater trochanter, so here that is, and the 2 inches shy of the knee. So don't actually roll your knee out. Roll a little bit back, so kind of like you're looking up. See if you feel that outer hamstring. That one crosses the knee, so when it's tight, it's a booger. It can create knee tension, hip tension. The tight IT can create hip tension. Roll forward. Now you might also feel that lateral quad, that vastus lateralis. Yes. And wherever you need. You're not rolling out the knee, but you're rolling out those muscles from hip towards the knee, and you're rolling out that fascia. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Let's try the other side. Sometimes when you go over, you can feel like this leg's already longer. Sometimes you can feel it right away. I've got about a 1/2 inch length on that other leg now. Let's do this. This is so good, guys. What you're doing, noticing without judgment, is one leg tighter than the other. And you're going from roughly greater trochanter, this bone here, down towards the knee, but you're not rolling out your knee. You're going to leave a couple inches shy of your knee, just to be on the safe side. Your knee is a hinge joint. It doesn't want that lateral pressure. Now, you can deviate so your belly faces the ceiling a little bit. You feel that lateral hamstring along with that IT. that crosses the knee. So if you've been feeling lateral knee pain, sometimes that can help it, or hip pain. And then roll down. One leg may feel just sort of pervasively tighter. For example, my left leg's just a tiny bit shorter. It's a little tighter all over. And I used to get lateral hip pain when I was racing bikes. And all I had to do is this for about a minute, and it'd get rid of it. Just come back and forth. See what it does for you. So you have more tools in your back pocket whenever you need it to get out of pain and discomfort and to move more freely and easily. All right, so that TFL we're getting, right? It's like a front pocket muscle. It's a secondary hip flexor, but gets over recruited as a first. Woo, you can feel that one. All right, let's take a little breather, see how that is. Going to have us turn over the roller. I didn't say that right. Have it vertical. Now, an ankle to thigh, kind of like a figure 4 stretch, but then roll it out. Now, you're rolling from your sacrum to your greater trochanter where those external rotators attach. If you see how I'm rolling back, I can get a little bit of that glute medius where it's accessible on the top part of the ilium. But you can also lean forward or side. I want you to play around. It's pretty safe in all these ranges you find. Just safe to experiment. You don't want to roll out the ribs and you don't want to roll out the belly with this, but pretty much you're safe otherwise. You don't want to roll out the neck, but these big muscles like this, pretty easy to experiment. I like to hit it right around where the trochanter is. There's a lot of attachments there. Can't go wrong with that if you feel tight hips. 5, 4, 3, and you're breathing 2. Whew, let that out. Try the other ankle to thigh. Try the other glute. Now, what's one side feel compared to the other? And I want you to notice how you walk today and see if it feels a little freer when you get out of your car, when you get out of a chair. See if it's a little easier to stand up, a little more freedom. Back and forth. Hip, hip. Good. Nice. I like to go high on the pelvis, over to that greater trochanter, see what one side feels like compared to the other. 5, 4, 3, and then why don't we together just take a quad stretch. So you can be like a plank almost, but your forearms on the floor. Roll out those quads. Now I'm going to bend and straighten as an option, but if that's too aggressive, just leave them long. You see how that shortens the lever, puts the weight up. Now, another thing you can do is sort of toe out like your Charlie Chaplin, like you're duck walking. That's going to get those inner quads. Woo! You feel that big ropey one, the sartorius. That's the longest muscle in the body. You can feel it when you roll over this too. Now, if you toe towards each other, it changes the pressure on the quad. And when the quads are tight, they pull on the knees, so this will often help with some knee stiffness. If your left leg's tighter, you can deviate more on the left leg. And if your right leg's tighter, you can deviate more on the right leg. Good. 5, 4, 3. Just take a few more rolls. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so that was amazing. I could do that for a whole hour. So we're going to take, we used to at the studio every now and then, special class. So let your pelvis get on that roller. And this is an option, legs go long or legs bent. Whatever feels good. I don't want anything to hurt. Now bias the roller more towards your heel side
so it's more underneath your front pocket. I don't want your low back to get more lordotic. So if your back doesn't like this, try rolling the roller more towards your heels. Kind of shimmy your body away from the roller. That should have it more underneath the psoas or the hip flexor. Passive release. This muscle connects the front, the top half to the bottom half. It's in flexion so much of the day. It's also considered an emotional storing muscle, like when you tighten up and brace against something. So see if you can just take an opportunity in this safe position of support to let the hips relax. You can breathe low in the diaphragm with your inhale coming in through your nose. Expand the belly. Exhale out any dense energy, any worry about the past, any worry about the future. Give yourself the gift of this moment, a chance to recharge, and feel that sense of freedom that we've created. At this moment, you can feel a blend of strength. We spent most of the class strengthening our muscles, and then we released tension. So you have a calm flexibility about you, a strong flexibility about you. You can be strong and flexible. And you're just getting in touch with that feeling in your body so that you're making sure to keep all of the benefits that we've had. The body will have an accidental pattern of going back into pain postures and old patterns because they're familiar and comfortable. So you're resetting. It's like you turn off your phone and you're turning it back on. You're resetting. Feel how easy and free the body can be and still maintain its strength. Feel how flexible and open the body can be and still maintain its strength. Now as you're ready, slowly draw the feet on the floor and get that roller out from under your booty, and we're going to sit up.
Notice how easy it is to sit, and just take a moment and feel that energy of flexibility and strength in your body. Ease and flow and strength. Strong and flexible. Strong and graceful. Just get used to that they are, they can occur in the same body, and they're occurring in you. And when you're ready, let your eyes open, come back into the room. Thank you so much, strong, flexible guys. Thank you so much. So good to see you. Let me know your thoughts. And Betty, let me know how we're doing with the thing you and I were working on, okay? Bye, guys. Have a great day.